Good morning, evening, afternoon, Year 11, whichever time you happen to be so inspired to pick up your computer and go and have a little look at what I've got in store for you for business studies. So today is the new topic. As you can see on your screen, it's called Small to Medium Enterprises. Enterprise is just another word for the word business, specifically small business. It's kind of a little area of businesses that the syllabus likes to hone in on, small businesses. And we like to think that they can contribute a lot to our economy. And you need to be able to tell me how. So let's explore this new area of the syllabus. Okay, so the first thing is we need to define a small business. We need to define a small business. Now, how do you define a business? You might be able to think up a few ways, but how do you define the size small? A little bit difficult. Do you define it in terms of how much money it makes? Would that make it a small business if it was under a certain amount of money? Do we define it in regards to how many employees there are? Maybe we even define a small business by the number of square meterage it takes up. So a small business might just be a business that's only an office. All of these ways we're questioning, how do you define it? Well, you have to think this through, because let's say we just said our business was based on metre square. Well, then you have massive transnational corporations like Nike, or Nike, however you guys say it, who really is just a tiny business, under 100 employees, just one floor of an office site, and they make billions, if not trillions of dollars throughout the world. So you couldn't really call them a small business, even though they employ only a few people and they take up a small area. They outsource all of their other stuff, like their operations. So we're really going to think about this. So let's see what the government's come up with. Even though there's no universal definition of small business, the Australian Bureau of Statistics, ABS, has adopted a definition for statistical purposes, using employment as the main basis of clarifying non-agricultural businesses by size. They have a different classification for agricultural businesses, but for our purposes, it's employment as the measure, big or small. So the definition is, the definition of a business is based on size. So let's look at them. A micro business employs fewer than 5 people. Other small businesses employ 5 or more people, but fewer than 20. A small business employs fewer than 20. Now, the actual word small business, fewer than 20. A small business is a micro business plus other small business. Well, that's just darn confusing, isn't it? I've just got this from our text, and okay, let's just condense those two into small businesses. Small businesses fewer than 20 people. Medium business, employing between 20 and 200, and a large business is employing 200 or more people. The other thing that syllabuses ask us is, what is the small to medium business's role? What is their economic contribution? And talk about the success or failure of small to medium businesses. So let's have a look at each of these. So the first is business's role. What's the role of small business in our economy? Well, today there's lots of roles that small businesses have in our economy. Let's go through them. They're responsible for much of the employment growth that occurs in an industrial economy. So you know how we can measure our economy by GDP, gross domestic product, and when that goes up, we can calculate that as a percentage growth in our economy. So the Australian economy, if it went from X to Y amount, we could say it's grown by 5% or decreased by 5%. But generally the Australian economy is growing. I think we were talking about the Chinese economy the other day. They have decreased from 8% to 7.2% or something like this, and people are got their knickers in a knot over that, but in the year 2012. But wow, an economy's growth of 7.5% is phenomenal. So let's get back to this. The role of small business is they actually contribute to much of this employment growth. So when our economy is doing so well, the thing that comes along with that is we employ a lot more people. When businesses are feeling confident, it's in that small business area that employment occurs. Moving on, employing a large percentage of the total workforce in Australia. They react to change in the business environment and produce new goods and services. Really important, because a big business, we were talking about change the other day, the bigger a business, the harder it is for them to change. They'll have so much more resistance, because to change an entire operation system, to change the structure of a huge business is a huge task and a costly task. Smaller businesses can easily react to changes. Say, for example, in consumer trends. They can just say, oh, they like red now. Let's change everything over. Let's make it in red. And so they bring out these goods and services for us as consumers. They also invest in new technologies and production processes. So they're happy to take up all this new stuff more readily than a bigger business. And because of these factors, in 2009 there was approximately 1.9 million active small businesses in Australia. Small businesses make up 96% of all businesses. They contribute to around 35% of Australia's total GDP, gross domestic product. More than 17,000 are exporters. They ship goods to the value of 1.2 billion in 2008. Not to be sniffed at, a small business. My wonderful husband has just come in and given me a cup of tea. Okay, the second role is economic contribution. Can you hear him? He's getting cranky at James. I've put James in the shower. And he's obviously sat on the plug hole and flooded the bathroom. God bless my children. So anyway, hubby's come up to give me a cup of tea and discovered that. He's not too happy because I'm in here talking to you guys. Okay, Australia could not function without small business. The contributions of small business to our economy include, do you like these graphics? Small business act as suppliers to larger organisations. Their quick and reliable distribution of goods and services to the customer. Specialist skills of small business allow larger firms to outsource some functions. Small businesses enable consumers to obtain a greater variety of goods and services. The diversity of goods and services helps create competition between businesses, which in turn keeps the prices down. Small businesses are able to operate in areas that larger organisations would find rather uneconomical. Now let's talk about business success and failure. Business failure actually refers to the situation where the business ceases to operate under its existing owner. And if you look at these graphics, hang on, Josh has just come in, he'll say a quick hello.
Hello,
My name is
Joshua. I've counted to 100.
Well done, and how old are you?
5
When's your birthday?
was August.
Are you having a party?
Yeah.
He's just flooded the bathroom.
I understand that. See that? Husband's just come in to tell me that son has flooded the bathroom. Oh goodness, and they're all up. So lucky this is my last slide. So if you have a quick look, you will notice that
I flooded the whole house.
you flooded.
I flooded the whole house.
What's your name?
James.
James, that were you sitting on the platform?
Yep.
Why?
Because we were flooding the house because he wanted to flood the whole house. I went to flood the whole house.
Can you show the students what I've been teaching you? I have
I have a big stick.
a big stick. Well done, darling. Say it again.
I had a big stick.
Yeah, it's really hard to say that, isn't it?
Yeah, I had a big stick.
Right. Eva, do you want to say something quick? Nope, she's running away. So, we have a huge percentage of small businesses fail in their first year of operation. 60%
60 cents.
fail in their first 5 years.
For the first years. 5 years. 5 years.
So, something's going on out there and we need to investigate. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it at that and shall catch you next time in class.
I'll catch you in next time. Breaking time. Please. Thanks for listening to my news, Kenzie. You're welcome. And you can see my talk to my mom. Okay.